Now at 6 and streaming on CrossRoadsToday.com, the Department of Justice says Governor Greg Abbott has no right to declare an invasion at the border.
Charges filed against a suspect accused of wounding 4 law enforcement officers in Harris County.
And the Maui EMS chief resigns after defending the no sirens call.
Another hot day in the Crossroads, but we're all excited. We're watching the tropics. We'll see when this activity starts bringing rain to our area.
Plus, Victoria College volleyball hit the courts today. I'll have that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Victoria ISD lifted a hold on the campuses of Roland Elementary and Howell Middle School shortly before 1:30 Friday afternoon. The hold was put on the campuses after Victoria police responded to the 2700 block of Larry Lane. Officers learned that a juvenile who may have a gun was seen walking in that area. Authorities have not found the juvenile at this time.
Governor Greg Abbott has no constitutional authority to define the flow of migrants across the Rio Grande as an invasion. The Austin American-Statesman reports that's what the Justice Department says in new court filings. In a lawsuit over the buoys, the Justice Department said the federal government is the one who gets to define an invasion according to the Constitution. The Justice Department is asking a federal judge to order the buoys be removed pending the outcome of the trial. A hearing now set for Tuesday in Austin.
Victoria unemployment went up in July. The Texas Workforce Commission reports unemployment in July in Victoria was at 4.6%. That is 0.3% higher than it was in June and that much higher than in July of last year. The state July average this year 4.5%.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with meteorologist Mac Bettis. Mac, today the heat, at least in my opinion, was a little bit bearable.
Oh, well, the little cloud cover that rolled in sort of helped out. We are still optimistic, folks. We got a 40% chance of a depression developing here and then rolling onshore and giving us a good shot at rain by at least Tuesday, maybe even Monday night. So we'll be talking more about that coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. The National Weather Service issues excessive heat warnings for 2 area counties. DeWitt and Lavaca counties under excessive heat warnings until 9 o'clock tonight. The National Weather Service says temperatures up to 110 degrees are expected.
New details in the impeachment filings against suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton. The new filings released by State House impeachment managers allege Paxton used burner phones, a secret email account, and an Uber alias to communicate with a controversial donor. They say it shows the lengths Paxton allegedly went to help real estate investor Nate Paul and cover his tracks. Paxton's impeachment trial in the Texas Senate expected to begin September 5th. Paxton faces 20 articles of impeachment. Charges filed against a suspect accused of wounding 4 law enforcement officers in 2 separate incidents. KTRK reports 34-year-old Taryn Green charged with 3 counts of attempted capital murder. He's accused of injuring 3 law enforcement officers on Thursday night, 2 with the U.S. Marshal Services and 1 with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. This happened just 1 day after he is accused of shooting another Harris County Sheriff's deputy during a traffic stop.
Austin police say there is so far no connection between Raul Meza and the 8 to 10 cold cases they are beginning to look into after his arrest in May. A grand jury indicted the 62-year-old Meza last week on murder and capital murder charges in 2 deaths. KXAN reports because no link has been found, Austin PD said it would not share further details on the cases it considered him to be potentially involved in, but the investigation continues. We now turn to Maui, where the deaths toll is at 111, but is expected to climb as more search and recovery teams work their way through fire-ravaged neighborhoods Friday.
The head of the Maui Emergency Management Agency resigned abruptly Thursday, a day after saying he had no regret about not using sirens to warn residents of wildfires that devastated the community and killed well over 100 people.
New satellite images showing the destruction in Lahaina, homes and businesses in the town once capital of the Kingdom of Hawaii, decimated. An official cause to what ignited the nation's deadliest wildfire in the last century under investigation.
See them right there. That's the power line.
While clues have emerged pointing to downed power lines from extreme high winds, Hawaiian Electric conducting an investigation amid lawsuits filed against them. The state's Attorney General office announcing they are working with a third party with experience in emergency management to launch their own probe. More than 100 people did not survive and hundreds more are still unaccounted for. This as more than half of the burn areas have been surveyed. The number of search dogs doubling from 20 to 40 to help speed up the grim recovery effort. As we learn more incredible stories of survival, Randy Kortenman sharing with ABC how he was helping fight the fires while standing on 2 broken feet.
I knew that my feet were in bad shape, but I didn't have time to worry about myself. I can do something. I can help these people. I can put out these fires. I know I can.
3 days later, Randy reuniting with his son, who also managed to survive. Governor Josh Green expected to make an address later today, amid concerns about the future of the island's economy, as Maui heavily relies on tourism.
To be able for us to surviving, we need tourism. We need to make money too.
Hotspots and some smoldering fires continue to burn on the island of Maui as firefighters are still working to fully contain all of the blazes that sparked last week. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Maui.
The Luther Hotel in Palacios remains at risk of being demolished. The hotel is at the center of a legal battle with efforts to save the hotel from demolition. A hearing was held this afternoon at 1 with lawyers. One person is looking to buy the hotel. However, there was no information or proof of payment received about a possible purchase. There are still motions to reinstate the insurance on the Luther Hotel and put fans inside to help preserve the hotel from the heat. For your Veer poll today, we want to ask you, how would you rate your local police department? Excellent, good, fair, or poor? According to these results today, 14% say excellent, 42% say good, 10% stand at fair, and 34% say poor. We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
Prices at the pump could be coming down if the weather forecast cooperates. KBTX reports Texas statewide gas price average is $3.49 for a gallon of regular unleaded fuel. AAA Texas says that price is 4 cents more than last week. The average gas price per gallon in Victoria, $3.42. Hurricane season and excessive heat could change things. Some Gulf Coast refineries reduced output in recent weeks due to dangerous working conditions and equipment failures caused by excessive heat. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. And when you're on YouTube, you can get us at Crossroads Today. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. Hurricane Hillary poses a historic threat and wildfires quickly spread in Canada.
Plus, President Joe Biden hosts the Camp David Summit with leaders from Japan and South Korea. Here's a look at Community Crossroads this weekend. We first sit down with local actors Ginger Joy, followed by Thompson VFD and the Salvation Army of Victoria. And of course, we have an in-studio performance with Rosemary.
When times got hard, I acted up. Times were scary or confusing. I acted tough when the path
The leaders of Japan and South Korea in a first-of-its-kind trilateral meeting at Camp David today. The president hopes to strengthen the relationship between the two neighbors in order to bolster military partnership and the region amid rising tensions from China and North Korea. This meeting marks the first time Biden used the Maryland retreat for a summit during his presidency. Biden noted the historic nature of the summit while highlighting the aim to continue the meeting on an annual basis.
We're doubling down on information sharing, including on the DPRK's missile launches and cyber activities, strengthening our ballistic missile defense cooperation, and critically, we've all committed to swiftly consult with each other in response to threats to any one of our countries from whatever source it occurs.
Biden also adds the three nations plan to elevate the trilateral defense collaboration in the Indo-Pacific region.
Hurricane Hilary, now a Category 4 storm, approaching Mexico's Baja California Peninsula despite an expected decrease in strength within the next few days.
Meanwhile, an unprecedented situation unfolding in Canada's capital and its surrounding Northwest Territories, where over 20,000 residents are under evacuation orders due to more than 200 active wildfires.
Hurricane Hilary looming towards Mexico's Baja California Peninsula as a powerful Category 4 storm, potentially dumping a year's worth of rain on the southwestern United States.
The rain will be very heavy with this system.
Its track churning about 400 miles south of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico as of Friday, with sustained winds of 145 miles per hour. West Coast officials making urgent preparations as the first ever tropical storm watch is issued for California.
We'll be in the lowest level of activation, ready. But as it escalates, we'll start bringing in the other individuals to staff the EOC.
Nearly 3,000 miles away, another urgent situation is unfolding as hundreds of wildfires burn in Canada's British Columbia and Northwest Territories.
These fires are very active and very unpredictable.
In Northwest Territories' capital city of Yellowknife, those fleeing the more than 200 active wildfires are forced to navigate dangerous road conditions or endure long wait times for emergency flights.
Military aircraft are scheduled for today. We'll continue to focus on helping the most vulnerable.
Canadian Armed Forces, along with first responders, are helping to evacuate more than 20,000 residents of Yellowknife and surrounding territories. Half of the population has now been displaced.
They're dousing hotspots to prevent further outbreaks, and very importantly, they have been working with local officials to construct fire breaks in and around the western region of Yellowknife and Etah to stop the spread and to protect critical infrastructure, homes, and that in community.
I'm Patrick Cornell reporting.
Users of X, formerly known as Twitter, will no longer be able to block comments from unwanted followers. X owner Elon Musk said Friday they are eliminating what's long been viewed as a key safety feature. Blocking will now only be available for direct messages. Users have been able to use the block function to make sure that hateful content and harassment does not show up in their feed in response to their posts.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, another hot day over the Crossroads. Yep, we got up into the hundreds. Right now, it's 96, but your official high was 104. That puts us in a new category of records, and we're going to be talking about that and also the possibility of us getting some actual tropical rain around here. This will be on Tuesday of next week, so stay tuned. We'll be talking about that. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, another hot, sunny day, but things could be very different next week. We'll be talking about that. We do have a viewer poll. We've been asking people questions that relate to some sort of weather. And today's question happens to be, which weather change are you excited for next week? Are you looking for the rain? Everybody says yes. Cooler temperatures, mid-90s, not so much. The tropical system, interested, and is it fall yet? Well, fall's going to be different for us, you know, but I guess everybody's excited about the rain, so let's talk about that. Your temperature, as I mentioned a moment ago, is at 96 right about now. Your high temperature got up to 101. Haven't had any rain in the month of August. As a matter of fact, every day in August has been over 100 degrees. Now, around the region, you can see it was 102 in Bay City, 100 down in Port Lavaca, and 105. Well, it puts us in a new category, folks. As of today, we've had 35 days of 100-degree temperatures, and as a result, we're now number 4 in the amount of 100-degree days that we've had. That's probably going to be changing. We probably wind up 2 or 3 by the time this is all over with. So all of Texas, get a load of this. 109 in Dallas, 110 Mineral Wells, 100 down in Brownsville, pretty much everywhere you go. So it's a concern because all of us want to stay cool, and so we are using electricity, and we need to conserve as much as we can so that we don't blow any of the switches. Looking for about 101 for tomorrow, and that's your Saturday, with heat advisories still in effect for pretty much everyone. Now, of course, the tropics are very interesting, and it's because of the Dome of Doom, whatever we call it, is finally moving and giving us a shot. Watch down here, south of us of the dome. It is the easterly wave right about there that's going to be approaching the coast of Texas. That is going to give us the first shot at some much needed rainfall that we haven't had in obviously a long time. Then it goes up and then it comes down. So it's not over with just yet in terms of the hot weather. As we take a look at the GFS forecast, how much rain will we get? It's putting the heaviest rainfall actually down in deep South Texas. However, I think we're going to get a good solid 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, maybe a little bit more depending on who gets the thunder showers, and that would be on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. In the Atlantic, we have 2 areas that have a major concern for development. We're certainly watching these, but it's not an organized storm just yet. And then, of course, the area of low pressure that's forecast to develop. It could be a tropical depression or an easterly wave. Don't expect it, I don't expect it to become anything worse than that. It'll be moving too fast and too close to the coastline for it to change. Well, on the other side of the world, another weird thing happening. This is Hurricane Hillary. It's a big storm. It is forecast to drift north. It is going to weaken down to a Category 2 when it hits Baja, and then it rolls over San Diego, California, and Los Angeles. This never has happened. Well, okay, almost never happened. They've never had a hurricane actually cross the coast. They will be looking at, of course, a lot of rain, probably 10 inches in the mountains, 5 to 10 inches. So for us, it's on the hot side through the weekend. You'll see some showers late on Monday. Best chance will be Tuesday and Wednesday with a actual decrease in the temperature department. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody that we do have a QR code. We'd like for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here's sports reporter Zach Brown.
We are 1 week away from the start of football season. I'll have that coming up in sports. Well, for the first time this year, the Victoria College Pirates in action on the volleyball courts. The girls led by new head coach Monica Peacock. They woke up very early for an 11 a.m. start against OLLU, where they fell 3 sets to 1. And this afternoon, they played again at 3 p.m. versus Dallas College Mountain View. This time, the matchup went down to the wire, but they were able to squeeze out the victory, winning in 5 sets. Well, this time next week, sports will look a little bit different, and that's because it is football season. One of the biggest games of next week is the Lavaca County showdown between the Hallettsville Brahmas and Shiner Comanche. Shiner in a bit of a rebuild, but that program is all about winning, and the Brahmas just had an athlete commit to Texas A&M and have a healthy quarterback in Jorian Wilson ready to go. The West Warriors and East Titans had one final tune-up last night. The East Titans on the road, the West Warriors here at Memorial Stadium. Next week, they get Davenport as they look to build off of their great season last year. The East Titans, on the other hand, should be fine, but they will need to name a starting quarterback very soon. Another big game and exciting storyline for local sports, El Campo versus Cuero. Cuero won a title in 2018. The coach, Travis Reeve. When El Campo returns to Cuero this year, they will be led by Travis Reeve. He has admitted that it will be a little different being on the other sideline, but he's excited to be back. Speaking of big games, Refugio Bobcats have a good measuring stick in week 1 versus the Hitchcock Bulldogs. Refugio, one of Texas's most historic football programs. Dave Campbell's football saying that Refugio has the 6th most wins all time amongst high school football programs in Texas with 775 wins all time. Number 1 all time is Highland Park with 875 wins all time. The Bobcats looking to add one more win to that total next week. And more from Dave Campbell's. They have the top 100 rising prospects in the state, and 3 area athletes made that list. Coming in at number 81, El Campo star Oliver Miles, who is going to be the starting quarterback against Cuero. At number 94 is Tidehaven running back Joseph Dodds, and Ernest Campbell of Refugio in at 97. And from Cuero, junior volleyball star Arissa Carbonara has committed to the University of California, Berkeley. That's your sports. Donna Karina, back to you.
Thank you, Zach. We're going to be back in a moment. Get your running shoes on and wear a life jacket just in case you fall through this thin ice marathon. We have this story straight ahead. A live preseason show airs next at 6:30. It tackles what you can expect from all of the high school football teams in the Crossroads. Follow 25 News Now Weekend Sports anchor Zach Brown and sports director Gina Perez on Twitter as the show airs.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sports. Runners took to the ice for a summer marathon at the North Pole this week, and they're off. Runners had to contend with soft snow and slush as they ran across ice. The winner of the men's division said it was the first time he had competed with a life jacket on. That's just in case athletes broke through the ice.
Yeah.
6 marathon runners competed in the race, along with 4 half-marathon entrants and 14-year-old Nolan Wang from the U.S. running the 10-mile race.
10-mile race.
Now, that'd be kind of strange, you know, if you're like in 3rd place or 4th place and, oh, I got to catch up to him. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, he's not.
They're getting 24 hours of daylight up there right now, so the soft snow, it's not hard at all. You could sink right through and be with the walruses down there, or the polar bears. But very interesting, at the top of the world. How about that? Well, I guess they're a little cooler than we are. I mean, we're not having much luck. You think? Well, and that's one of the big stories this year, is that even the North Pole is softening up because of the warm temperatures. But for you, we're looking for another 101 tomorrow, and then we're waiting for the tropics. We're waiting for that system to roll in. Probably on Tuesday is when we had the best chance for showers, and so Monday afternoon and evening you'll see clouds rolling in, and then I'm telling you, you got to wash your car. Please wash your car so that we can get some needed rainfall.
Is that a 94 on your screen?
I'm sorry?
Is that a 94? That's the lowest it's been in.
Shocking.
And I can't even remember.
Well, we have had every day in August so far has been over 100 degrees.
We need a break from that.
We do.
I wouldn't call that a winning streak. So this system, when it hits the Gulf, will be, or the coast, will be a tropical wave, probably.
A wave or even a depression, but not to worry. That we don't expect it to be a deeper storm than that. Monday, for sure, we'll know all the details on that one.
All right. Thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.